Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of getting the Outlander ready for daily driving video. Today we're gonna start out with an oil change. I'm still waiting on some parts. If you watched the last video, I was waiting for some sway bar links and a couple other things before I can actually put the Outlander all four wheels on the ground. And then after that, we're gonna do a couple other things. Still have to do the replacement bulbs on the HVAC and the gauge cluster. That's main part of this video. Then we're gonna put the end links once we get them, and then put the Outlander on the ground, and then hopefully start driving it real soon by the end of the video. So here we go, let's do the oil change. So here we go, told you I was gonna use SuperTech. I got an original Mitsubishi oil filter. I always want to go OEM, and typically the OEM, actually I can get it at the same price or a little bit cheaper than getting like a Wix, which is another filter that I like, or Purelator. So that's why I went, and the good thing, these are pre-lubricated, which I'll show you once I install it. So there's the oil filter, conveniently right next to the oil pan drain plug. So I'm gonna use my good old oil removal tool here. I don't know how tight they installed the oil filter, but that's why I got this. And then we drain the oil, inspect it a little bit. I don't have any suspicion that there's anything wrong with the engine, because it's actually pretty damn quiet when I start it. So get that and fill it with oil, and then we should be done with the oil change. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is the original Mitsubishi oil filter, OEM. And this is what I meant, they're pre-lubricated. Typically, with the oil filter, you have to put oil to, make sure before you install it, so the O-ring here does not bind. It could cause an oil leak, so you have to lubricate it. Factory oil filters are going to filter properly. The factory oil filter will give you the best filtration performance than most aftermarket. I mean, the only aftermarket oil filters that I would even trust is like Wix and Purelator. Obviously you can go cheaper, get a Fram, but it's just, Fram is notorious. They have a reputation of the filtration properties on it are not as good. So that's why I went with a factory filter. Okay, it's made by Denso. Denso is known to make really good parts, and they're a manufacturer for Japanese, for Toyota, Mitsubishi. I don't know about the others, but install this bad boy. I also got a new drain plug washer here. You should always replace this every time you do oil change on your drain plug. This is a crush washer, so it crushes obviously seal it. If you reuse this, there's a good chance that it will leak from the drain plug. That's why I always replace it when you do an oil change. We're all set. OEM Mitsubishi filter is in. Drain the oil. Fresh new drain plug washer. Everything is all good. It's all ready to get filled with oil. Cleaned up the area a little bit. Wasn't too bad, just regular grime and stuff overbuilt over the years. Just cleaned it up a little bit while I was down here. Relatively, the underneath of the Outlander is in really good shape. There's no rust whatsoever. It looks really good. Technically the bottom looks better than the outside, the exterior. But other than that, man, it's really clean. So yeah, let's go ahead and fill the oil. The 4G69 and their Outlander, the 2.4 liter 4G69, takes 4.5 quarts. So I got a 5 quart jug here. So just fill it to 4.5. So I'm about 1.25 maybe. So I'm trying to get to here. That will get me down to like 4.5 quarts. So let's keep pouring. So that's a half a quart left. So 4.5 quarts. We can go ahead and check the dipstick now. We're right at top level, so we're good. Doesn't hurt to have it right there at the top level. So there we go. All right, I'm just gonna start, make sure everything's good, no leaks, everything should be okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay, oil change is done. I also got a new air filter. We're gonna go ahead and replace that now. This is kind of funky. There's so much stuff here. I'm not used to this type of air box, so this will be interesting. Shouldn't be that hard to remove. Get this replaced, and then I also have a cabin filter that I'm gonna have to replace too. So let's start with the air filter. Oh, that's not that bad. Just pops right out. It's the air filter. Here it is. Yeah, that's dirty. There's even looks like a yellow jacket. Some bugs. Yeah, that definitely need to be replaced. Here's a new air filter. I got Wicks. The only aftermarket like filters I trust is Wicks and Purelator. Got this. It was on sale on Amazon, so I took advantage of it. Part number is 46215 for the first gen Outlander. 2.4. I'm not sure about the non-Myvec one, but the Myvec one is that filter. Go ahead and take it out here. Looks like it. So if I remember correctly, wasn't that bad. New air filters. And so I ordered these T5 LED bulbs with the new sockets. Like I said, if you look at the old ones here, the factory ones, the see if I can pull one out. The bulb wire is actually wrapped here. You can see it right there. It's all wrapped, so it's not like a socket type of bulb. It's wrapped into where these right here make contact to the board right there. So what I had to do is order these from Amazon. They're T5 sockets and with LED bulbs, and basically I already got one in right here, so I'm gonna get these rest in and hopefully it works. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do is seeing if this Outlander has keyless entry. Now they said one of the best ways to indicate it does have keyless entry if it has the roof rack, because it came with what they call the convenience package. And apparently in the convenience package, not only get the roof rack, you get keyless entry. So I have these keyless remotes. When we had years ago, we had a 04 Mitsubishi Endeavor, and these were the remotes, keyless remotes for it. They are the same remotes you can use for the Outlander, and I just so happen to have these stashed in my parts bin. So I put brand new batteries in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can program these one of these remotes. If I can program one, I can program both to the Outlander, and then I'll have keyless. So we're gonna give it a shot. I got the instructions on my phone, and let me see if it works. One of the things you have to do is you have to jump the wires from pin 1 to pin 4 to do the programming. Program the keyless fobs to the Outlander. So I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'll let you know if it works. It took me a couple tries, but I finally got something to work, and it works. I have keyless on the Outlander. It's funny, I kept these old keyless fobs, authentic Mitsubishi ones from our old 04 Endeavor, and it just so happens, I didn't know I was gonna buy an Outlander. It just so happens these are the same ones the Outlander works. I'm gonna show you right now the keyless works. So here we go. Here is the first remote. So I'm gonna hit lock, unlock, and then I have a second remote here, lock, unlock. Man, that's friggin' awesome. I have keyless on the Outlander. All right, we finally got these parts in from Rock Auto. I got the front and rear sway bar end links and the rear sway bar bushings. What we're gonna do is we're gonna button up the front suspension. We're gonna install the front sway bar end links and tighten the bolts for the lower control arm to factory specs with my torque wrench. And hopefully we should be able to get at least the front end on the ground. And that's the main goal. It's an afternoon, I just got off work, so let's get this done. So here are the parts. Here's the rear sway bar bushings. That's the part number if you're curious, K200830. Those are for the rear sway bar bushings. And these are the end links. I think these are the front, and then these are the rears, or vice versa. Let's see here. Yeah, these are going to be for the rear, and then these are going to be the front. Let's open these up. Yeah, these are for the front. So 2 of each, obviously, for each side, one for each side. Both sides are done. I did the passenger side first. This is the driver's side. So sway bar end links are finally buttoned up. So all I have left now is I'm gonna tie in down the sway bar bushing brackets on each side. Got tying those down. And then once I tie those down, I am gonna lift this up a little bit so that I'm simulating load on the lower control arm, and then I'm gonna torque it down to spec. You're supposed to do this because if you torque it down right here and then you put load, you actually put the weight on the control arm, you can actually do some damage to the bushing. So if you have it preloaded to where it would normally sit most of the time, your bushing will kind of just stay there. If I did it now, the bushing would be like this, and then when I put load on it, there'd be stress on the bushing, more stress than it should be. I am now gonna torque the lower control arm bolts to factory spec. As you can see, I'm putting pressure on the lower control arm to simulate load, like if the Outlander was on the ground. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tie in this front bolt right there. So torque specs on that front bolt is 137 foot-pounds, 10 give or take. So right here I have it set at close to one, like maybe 138, 137. Okay, we got the 2 front bolts of the lower control arms tightened, factory specs. Now it's that rear bolt, and that calls for 123 foot-pounds. And I have my torque wrench here set at 123-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish, probably right under 125. So let's tighten that bolt down. Okay, we're finally done. Lower control arm is fully bolted in. Bolts are torqued to spec. New sway bar end links, new sway bar bushings back there. Those are tying. So driver's side's done, and passenger side all ready to go. So next on the list is putting in the new HVAC control assembly here. As you can see, I removed the old one. Old one's removed, and here are the cables for the temp and vent blend door control. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lubricate it, especially on the other end where the blend doors are, and on the HVAC control assembly. This is 2004. It's almost been 20 years. Well, actually 21 years since these have been lubricated from the factory. So we're going to use some lube to get things to move a little bit smoother and better. So let's go ahead and do that before we install the HVAC control. Okay, this is stuff I'm going to use right here. It's called Super Lube. It's a synthetic lube, synthetic grease, and it's multi-use. So yeah, I'm going to use this on the blend doors that are up here. Yeah, over here you can see those control the temp for heat and cool, and then I think this one here controls the blend doors. So if you want to defrost the upper vents, lower vents, that there, I'm going to go ahead and lube that up to make it a little bit easier for the cables so they don't bind. It's easier for them to function. And then I'm going to also do that on the control assembly, which you'll see before I install it. So yeah, let me go ahead and lube this up. Lubed the hinges for the blend doors. Did as best as I could. It was a tight fit in there, but I was able to get it done. And then I went ahead and lubed these gears on the control panel here. So this is ready to go in. I'm gonna get these installed. It shouldn't be that hard, and test out if it works. It should work. Don't see why not. Hopefully, make sure that the actual AC buttons here work and these LED bulbs light up for the illumination. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Okay, the control panel is installed. I tested it before I installed it, make sure all these buttons work. Everything works, the illumination works. Let's see right here, you can actually see illumination works. So yeah, it's just a matter of putting everything back together. So as you already saw, I took out the factory radio. I'm not going to reuse it. So I am installing the double din that came out of our Montero, our Gen 3 Montero that I had to let go. So here it is, this Pioneer double din head unit. It should fit, shouldn't be no issue. And then once I get this all fitted, make sure it works, we'll button this together, and you'll see that in the next shot. Okay guys, I have the radio mounted in. Everything, it's not fully bolted in. This is basically still mock-up, but I just want to get everything kind of put together to make sure everything's good. So now I have temperature control and all that good stuff here. And then I got the fan speed and then the vent control. That's working pretty good. So yeah, I might have to mess with that a little bit more. It's still not 100% good, but as long as it's working. So we're gonna go and test it out. Turn on the car. That works. Radio works. AC is blowing really cold. Everything looks good so far. Okay, next on our list is that we're gonna go ahead and replace the cabin air filter. Clean up this area. There's a lot of dust and stuff that has settled through the years. This is gonna be really easy to replace, but that is the old cabin air filter and that is freaking filthy. It's disgusting. It is gross in there. So here's the new one. Good thing is it looks like this was a Purelator because it has the same exact writing on the new one. So good thing that's a Purelator filter. It's good quality. That's what I got. If you're curious for the Outlander, that is the part number C36125C. I got this on Amazon. I will leave a link on the description, but that's it. So all we have to do here is just put it right back in. These two bolts here line up, and then we just screw them back in, and we're done. You want to make sure, because the air gets pulled in and it comes down, so you want to make sure the arrow faces down, and this lettering here is right side up. All right, done. New air filter is back in. So we're gonna start buttoning this up, putting all these panels back in place, and make it look like it's a car. All right, there you go. It is all put back together. It looks like a car again. New double-din head unit, replace the AC control assembly, new knobs, everything works. Still a little finicky. Found out this was a common problem on the Lancers and the Outlanders. The cable and the gear hinge for the temperature control, it was a bad design originally. Actually, when you order the new lever for it, it's redesigned. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that probably in the next month or so. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Right now I just want on ACs, but when winter comes in the next several months, I'm gonna definitely need heat, so I'll address that in a later video. But this works. All these buttons work. I found out the issue. Yeah, I replaced LEDs in here, LEDs in there, and LEDs in the gauge cluster, and I will show you what it looks like at night. What we're going to do now is put the steering wheel cover on this steering wheel to kind of make it look somewhat decent. It shows its age. I cleaned it up, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the new steering wheel cover. Okay, steering wheel cover is on. Has a little carbon fiber velour type of feel to it. Makes it look better. Kind of takes away from the imperfections of the wheel. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. It's a daily driver, but look at that. It's looking really good, the interior, for being the daily driver. All right, we are now working on the rear of the Outlander, and I'm gonna replace the sway bar bushings and the end links. I was getting a clanking noise up front. I drove the Outlander for a little bit. It is gone. But there was also a clunking noise on the rear, specifically on this side. As soon as I pulled off the tire, look at that. The bushing is completely gone. This is the first time I've ever seen a bushing just totally disintegrated. It's like it's not even there. That happened on the front passenger side, and it happened here on the rear passenger side, which is completely, it's just wild to me that it is gone. Good thing is it is fixable. I got new bushings, and we're going to replace the sway bar links on both sides, but it's crazy. I've never seen this before, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tackle this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it now because it's starting to, yeah, if you look at that, it's rain coming in. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it today, but at least I got the Outlander pretty much ready to go. Hopefully it stops raining later or just tomorrow. If you look, that's the driver's side. Bushing is still there. That's how it's supposed to be like, not like the other side. Okay, I got the bracket off here, cleaned up the area because it's pretty dirty. And here's the new bushing. Getting ready to prep to put in. If you're curious, that is what I use. I used Moog, and that is part number K2000830. One gets you 2 bushings. Right, you get two bushings. And then make sure you use, where is it? Using some energy suspension bushing grease here. That's what I use. So we're gonna apply that to the bushing before we put it on there, and then after that we'll tackle the end link. All right, got the old sway bar link out, and yeah, it definitely needed to get replaced. You can see the boots torn right there, and it's torn, or it's tearing up here. Yeah, it's definitely in bad shape, so it's going to be replaced with these. I got these from Beck Arnley. That's the part number 1014899. Same partner on both, same part number on both sides. And here's the new one. Let's take it out of the packaging. Okay, so here's the new one and the old one. You can see boots are nice and fresh, and you even get brand new nuts. Okay, all done on the passenger side. There is the new bushing, right, and the new end link. So they're both in there. If you remember, it was missing. This sway bar bushing was just completely gone. Now we have one there, and then new sway bar link. So that side's good. We're gonna go ahead and tackle the driver side. Okay, driver side is done. You can see sway bar bushing is there, new end link. So we're good. So we're just gonna clean up a few things on both sides. So I took apart a little bit of the cargo area to clean underneath, and there's a lot of dirt and debris all over. So this was wet. There was some water in here, so I pretty much sucked up all the water, clean it. But yeah, I had to remove all this foam storage stuff. I'll show right here to get to it. That's like a foam storage compartment deal along with this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, vacuum it, get all this debris, try to make it somewhat nice, and before I put everything back together. Okay, cleaned it up as best as I could. It's a lot better than it was. There's not a lot of debris and crap all over the place. I'm gonna vacuum this area one more time, but it's gonna be as clean as it can get. But yeah, there you go. Okay, now we're gonna just replace the wiper blades. In the earlier videos, you probably saw me painting ones I got from the junkyard. I'm gonna go ahead and replace these. Like I said, these are pretty badly rusted and pitted, and honestly, I just got some ones from the junkyard in much better condition. All I had to do is respray them. So let's put the new wiper arms and the new blades. Okay, the newly painted wiper arms are on with the new blades, so looks so much better than the original ones that were on it. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is replace the power steering fluid. It's pretty dark, and I'm pretty sure this is the original or old fluid I'm gonna go ahead and replace it right here. I got this from Amazon, so I'll link this in the description. It's like a syringe. So you have these hoses here, and then once you get it in, it doesn't come out. The only way to release it is we'd have to kind of pull this and it comes right out. And then what you do is once you have this hose, you put it inside and then you syringe it out to extract any fluid, like if you have the brake master cylinder or the power steering, so you can change the fluid. So that's what we're going to do on this, and put some new power steering fluid. Let's take the cap off here, get it in there. Be able to Okay, I got most of the power steering fluid out of the reservoir. You're gonna probably have to do this maybe 2 or 3 times to fully replace all the power steering fluid in the system. There's a proper tool to obviously flush out the whole system. I don't have it. I'm basically just doing it this way. So like I said, I'm gonna refill it with new power steering fluid. I'm gonna probably run it for a few days and then do the same thing again. Suck out the fluid and put new fluid in, just a few times a cycle, so we can get at least mostly all new fluid in the system. Just make sure whatever you fill your vehicle in, whatever power steering fluid, make sure it's specific for that vehicle. For Mitsubishis and pretty much all the Japanese, they all take the similar power steering fluid. I think it's .3. I got Prestone, typically makes the right stuff, and this one's even specifically for Asian vehicles. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just fill this in there. Boom. Let's make sure it is at the level it's supposed to in the max. Well, technically you want to try to get it in between the max and minimum. I got a little bit closer to max, and there you go. Like I said, you're gonna have to do this a couple times so you can pretty much flush out most of the fluid if you don't have like a proper tool. So my Mitsubishi parts guy got me this, so he kind of gifted this to me. Pretty cool Outlander keychain. So let's put it on the key. So there you go. That is the keychain for the Outlander. It's key and the key fob. What's up, guys? That concludes the video. That pretty much wraps up this daily driving build. I will formally introduce the DailyLander after a couple months. I actually started driving the car around September. It's been a few months. It's December right now. As you can see, I'm wearing a jacket. It's getting cool. So I've been driving the Outlander for a few months already, and I'm going to give you my impressions of it. It's basically a honeymoon review, and there's been a few things that has happened since I've had it. There's some other small fixes I did that I didn't cover in the video, which weren't priority to get it to run. But I just made little fixes here. So like I said, a few things. I'm going to cover that in the next video, formally introducing the DailyLander. I've done a few other things to it. So can't wait to show you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe and like the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. See ya.